I raced triathlon and just recently completed a full distance Ironman. And
Woo!
yeah, brilliant. Really enjoyed it. It was definitely a good experience, and definitely love to do another one again. I'll be
So
in being next year.
for those viewers who don't know what a Iron Man consists of, can you let us know what that is?
Yeah. So an Ironman consists of it's a triathlon, a very long distance triathlon. So consists of swimming, cycling, and running.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
you have a swim of 2.4 mile. I am 112 mile on a bike, and then a 26.2 mile run after the bike. But a wee bit unfortunately, I'm not pretty choppy conditions. A wee bit
So
disappointing, but it's the same for everyone.
everyone got the same. So what distance you're supposed to do 2.4 miles? What distance did you end up doing?
Yeah, it was pretty short. I actually ended up we were meant to do the half Ironman swim, which was
Mm-hmm.
1.9 k, and then one of the last markers kept drifting away with the currents,
Right.
so it was cut shorter again. So I think it ended up only being 13 or 1400 meters.
Huh.
So I
It's not
ended
a
up
long
doing that in
distance
about
though.
yeah, that's still a good enough distance, but you still want to be doing the full distance. But it is what it is. It's the same for everyone else. These things happen
Do
sometimes.
you think do you think having the distance cut short helped you get your times better on your bike or your run? Or did the tide and the
Um,
current just wreck you?
Not really, because see, on swimming back to shore, there was a current bringing you back to shore. So my pace was probably my quickest ever swim pace to do with the current bringing you back in.
Right.
But
Yeah.
actually, swimming out was quite choppy. So even if it was the full distance, the first swimming out the ways would have been quite choppy, and would have been quite difficult maybe. But swimming back, the current brought you back to shore. But it wouldn't really affect my swim time, or not my swim time, my bike time or run time, because swimming is not that physically demanding on the body. I find like
Yeah.
it's not a hard impact sport.
That
Fair enough, it's going to be my
sink like a
arms
ship.
and shoulders might get a bit tired, but then when it comes to the run, the bike and the run, it's going to be my legs.
Yeah.
So it's the bike and the run is the most damaging part.
Hmm.
It would affected my time overall. A guy completed the Ironman in 10 hours 46 minutes, which if
What,
it
10
was a full
hours?
swim, 10 hours 46 minutes for the total Ironman. So, but if we had the full swim, I reckon my time would have been from 11 and a half hours to 11 hours 45 when
So
with a
you're
full swim.
constantly
But
you're swimming and running and cycling constantly for 10 hours?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me.
So long day.
Long days. So what time do you
So what
start
like
at?
what was your splits, if you mind me asking? So what was your splits on the swim and the run and
Well,
the
since the swim was cut short, my splits for the swim was 22 minutes.
okay.
And then for the bike, a pretty strong bike. There has been a lot of work put on the bike this year. Um, it was 5 hours 22 minutes for 110 mile, and from a
Mm-hmm.
run this year has been a wee bit of a disaster. We're running just with injuries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I hadn't the mileage on the legs with the running, and I knew that anyway. But with the lack of the mileage, the running because of my injuries and stuff, I'd really worked extra on the bike, and it definitely did show on the bike. But for the running, my splits came there for the marathon was 4 hours 45 minutes or something like that there.
That's still
Which
amazing for a marathon, like
it's not
injury.
bad. It's not bad. But if I had the mileage on the legs, I would like to have had at least an hour of that. So it was, but
Yeah.
I'm happy enough, happy to get the finish and delighted.
So tell us, William, like looking on your Instagram, because that's part of my job as a bod mom is to
Yeah,
go on the Instagram, oh, have
The
a good old
stalker.
nosy. Yeah, just
yeah,
we're going to stop saying that now because people are going to stop not coming on to the show. Um, it shows that you did dirt biking, you've done
yeah,
boxing, you're now a
yeah,
triathlete, you've also done running, you've done the Born to Run
yeah.
event. Why so many different sports, and do you still do them all, or are you now just doing triathlon?
Um, well, I grew up racing motocross, so from a very young age, from 6 years old, right up till age of 20, I raced motocross all my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I sort of felt like come to the end of it, I feel like, and it has, the sport over in this country sort of died off a wee bit. Just what I
Yeah.
felt like, and just with the whole I started off running with the gym I went to. I went to Fitness Factory gym, and I was never ever a runner or anything, and especially with my injuries that I've had through motocross, I run a wee bit different than most people. I
What do
run
you
with a wee bit
mean?
of a limp. Yeah.
Got you.
But
Run with a
you
bit
would
of a
have
lap.
you're running more like pace, a steady pace.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like depends. Like not every run you're going out to run as hard as you can. Like a
Hmm.
lot of it running, you're doing a lot of easy running as well. To build up your base, and then you'll have your running sessions as well. But yeah, I've done a lot of different sports. So grew up racing motocross, and then started running with a few guys out of the gym doing different events over the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to know that I really enjoyed it, so I did. And as the weeks got on, I started to notice I'm getting better and better and better at it. And then the whole pandemic thing sort of kicked off. So there was no gyms open or anything, and then all the motocross tracks and all were closed. And so the best thing I could do was run to keep myself fit. But I sort of got myself a cycling bike because I always wanted one of them, and ended up meeting a few guys. And since I started running, I came up with this idea I want to do a triathlon. And then I started cycling. I played in my mind I want to do an Ironman. And then when I joined the cycling club, there was a guy that I met, and he'd done an Ironman and all before, and he introduced me into my triathlon club, Tuna Triathlon. And that's where it kicked off from there
Crazy.
Like
with it.
I
So
know, like
after
you
looking
just
to
said
do,
so flippantly there. I felt like I wanted to do a triathlon, so I joined the triathlon club,
yeah,
which is obviously the obvious thing to do. And now
yeah,
you're going to compete in Ironman. Like a
yeah,
lot of people think it, aka me, and don't actually do it. Because I actually retired from hockey, and I was like, right,
yeah,
focus now on doing triathlon. Well, that never happened, not yet,
yeah.
anyway. So yeah, never know. I do
Definitely.
know. I
Do you
do
think you could
know
do a triathlon?
me
Yeah.
a very slow one. But I have a go. Like obviously,
You
there's
could get
different
through it
levels to
surely.
it. What?
You get through it surely. Like in triathlon, there's not just there's a whole load of different distances. So you've got like your sprint
Mm-hmm.
triathlon, Olympic distance, half Ironman, and then your full Ironman. So like if a sprint triathlon will consist of a 750-meter swim into a 12-mile bike ride, and then into a 5K run.
Yeah, but you remember, like, you don't want to be coming in after 2.5 hours in those ones. Like, you want to be coming in like under an hour.
But I just
In
get
under an hour,
the
you're
scuba gear
professional.
on and go underneath you while you're swimming and hold you, swim along.
Every time
Yeah,
somebody says distances for the swim, I'm just constantly thinking of what wave swimming pool 25 meters was. I was like, right,
yeah,
750, how many lengths is that? Right, okay. I'm trying to calculate in my head just to get the distance, but I'm never going to say never. I just haven't got there yet. But
yeah.
yes, so you just solely just triathlon now, is that right?
Yeah, well, just before triathlon, I would really do anything. So, like triathlon, since you've got your swimming, your biking, and your running, I'd maybe do events outside of that as well. Like I'd
Like
maybe
what?
go and race a 10K or cross country. It's a cross country season coming up. Maybe time trialing on my bike, and then
Mm-hmm.
swimming. Swimming was my weak would be my weakest discipline, and I took a lot of work to get me to where I am now, especially in the open water. It
That's what I was gonna say.
took
Where
some
would you
time.
swim? Would you do like the swimming pool, or do you go in the open water to swim to build your strength up, or what way does that work?
Yeah, so we do a bit of both. So now our actually open water seasons come to an end at the end of
Right.
this month, the end of September. So with a couple of nights a week, I would be in the pool, and then like of a Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
night, I'd be in the open water. So it would, yeah.
Is that in Craigavon Lakes or is that around the loch?
It was in the loch, but not anymore, just because of the algae
Yeah,
and
I've heard
stuff.
that.
So
Right.
there's a place at Moira Lakes we would go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a man-made lake, and
Right.
you book
It used
yourself
to be a
into it.
fishing lake.
Yeah, it used to be a fishing lake. Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's for open water swimming, and that's pretty good.
let
Is
me.
it
Well,
really, really
that's
cool?
handy.
Sometimes it can. You've started to notice now. I said the other day with the darker nights and the stuff coming in, you can feel a wee bit more of the nip in the water. Starting to get a wee bit colder, but you get used to it.
My
Take
husband
your
would
word for
not
it.
be interested in that one bit. He'd be like, "Oh no!" Well, not maybe not that, but he'd be quite high pitched when jumps in the water. So in terms of like your training stuff, like how do you maintain your passion, your drive to keep going? Because it's not like they're not easy sports to do because they do
No,
require a lot of time and they do require dedication. And
yeah,
as you said yourself, you've got weak points that you need to work on. So sometimes you need
mhm,
to more effort into one than the other. So
yeah.
how do you do it?
Well, it starts off with an early start in the morning before work. So my alarm would go off about 4:30 in the morning,
Half 4?
Half 4, yeah. And then I'm in the
That's not half
garage
bad.
for I'm in the garage on the bike or whatever for just shortly before 5. Get started a bike workout or whatever type of bike session I have. Or some days I could be out running. So running in the mornings. And then go to work. I start work at 8. And then when I come home again, get something to eat, and then back out the door, whether it's on the bike or way to the pool, way running. So that's what I would do like every day.
See, in the
Every
morning
day.
times when you're on the bike, do you have a, they see like the triathlons on the computer and stuff where you're racing against
Yeah.
people on it? Do you have likes of that?
Yeah, I use Zwift, so that's what they would use, Zwift. So I would use it through my phone. So it's like an app, and then I have a turbo trainer. So my bike's connected to the turbo trainer.
Oh,
And so you've near enough like a wee cartoon pretty much. When I'm paddling, it's near enough like a game. It's paddling as well. You can see your cartoon moving. But when whatever map you have on Zwift or whatever different app people would have, when you come to a hill, since it's a smart turbo trainer, the turbo trainer engages as if you're going up a hill.
Whoa.
So it does.
I must look into that
And
because
then
when I do the turbo trainer in the morning times, I get bored. Just sit and watch, try to
yeah,
get through YouTube or something. But like that there, that would make your time go in.
yeah, it would make your time going a bit quicker. And then you can see there's a whole load of people on. You can do a whole load of different things. So you've got your bike sessions that you can do, and there's like hundreds of them. Or you could go on and do a bike race or a time trial race, a group ride. So you can meet up with people, do a group ride. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty smart. So it is. I like it.
Right.
It definitely makes getting your bike sessions in a lot easier.
Whenever you said there about the turbo, it's a smart turbo, so it engages in the workout that you need to be doing, whether it's climbing up the hills, going down hills and stuff like that there.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you could cheat that, or is it just gonna be get your teeth and get through it?
There is different settings. I've never touched the settings. I think you can make hills easier or harder for
Right.
yourself if you want, but I've never actually looked into that. I've just kept it the way it is. So I have.
I'm
But
just
it's like
thinking, 'cause, like
anything.
I take spin, and some people are not turning the thing as much as they should do. So I'd love to
Oh,
get the wee turbo to go right. We're going up a hill, and make sure they go up a hill.
You're
put
you're
it
in
on that
control of
see
it.
the
You're
climb and
cranking
you
it
see
up for them.
people's cadence going really fast.
Yeah, I'm like, if your
Yeah.
leg's going fast to me, it ain't working.
No.
Wee button cranker up.
Imagine that in the gym, though, like one of those three turbo things, just setting it so nobody can cheat.
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant.
Wouldn't it?
That would be good.
You just sit and smirk at them. Just don't even say that. Just crank it up on them.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant.
So we've talked a lot about triathlon and stuff, and we've talked a little bit about stuff you used to do when you're younger and running and stuff. Out of all the years you've been competing in sports since you were 6, maybe even before, right up until now, is there any particular moment that stands out as that was mine?
Well, I say there's quite a few, but definitely the Ironman would be up there. Because it was a race I've been like I've only started before I even raced triathlon. I've only been at triathlon really just coming up to my 3rd year now, but actually really 2 years of racing. So I've been looking to do an Ironman before it even started, and it's one of them things you looked at it on the internet and go, I'd love to do that there, but it was my swimming that was always going to be the downfall, and it was one of them things I was always in my mind to do, and it's always stuck there, and I've been basically obsessed with Ironman stuff to do it and conquer it, and now I've done it. But it's not one of them things I want to say that I've done and never do it again. I'm already in talk already. We'll go away and do one again next year.
Brilliant.
But
Would you like trying to
yeah.
do like the tournaments, in different countries and stuff? Would you ever have
Yeah.
to go with them?
I would definitely love to go away. That's what I was saying. I'd love to go away to another country outside of Northern Ireland and race.
Yeah.
But I was sort of hoping maybe to focus on the half Ironman distance for next year. I was planning to do it for this year, and then for the Ironman to be the big one. But this year I've hardly got any racing, just because with running injuries and stuff. And going into my Ironman, I'd hardly any running done. It was only really a lot of weeks before I got running again, started running again. And going in, longest run going into an Ironman was just under 6 mile. So you're going from hardly
6
running all
mile.
year to running 6 mile,
To run 26.
and then running 26 mile in a race. So like I'm very, very fit, and I could feel it on the run. Not as if I was out of breath or anything, and I felt good on the run, but it was just the fatigue and the legs and the race That's what got me the most.
What
But
injuries did you
it's an
have?
Ironman. Pardon?
What injuries were you suffering?
The past year or so, the last one was the Achilles. I've an irritation in the Achilles. It's not as if it's sore; it's just an irritation. If you went for a run, you would damage something. And then I've had last year, shin problems, on the start of this year, shin
Oh, that's
problems.
hateful.
So it's been trying to manage that, but that's why I do so much bike work. If I can't run, I'll do extra bike work to keep that
Yeah.
fitness up.
Have you been going to read like physio or any other sort of treatments to
Yeah,
correct
at the
the
start of
injury?
the year, I was going to a physio, pressure point sports massage. I was going to him in Belfast, and he helped a lot. Like, he really did look into things,
Mhm.
how to make his muscle group stronger and around my calves, my shins, and he was very good. But then the Achilles, I hadn't been to anyone about the Achilles. It never really gave me any bother. It was just more of an irritation every now and then. And you knew if you went for a run or anything, that's when you would cause more damage.
Hmm.
So when it took quite a while for it to go away, it's only really went away the last lot of weeks, where I'm
That
back
must have been
running again.
incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating, but I felt like I've been pretty patient with it. I think trying to get cross or angry and get frustrated about it makes things worse. Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. You just sort of have to work around the problem, which I feel
It
like
is.
some people, when they have injuries, they maybe go, right, today I was meant to do a run, now I can't run. I'll not do anything. Try and work around the problem. If you can't run, do a bike, do a swim, work around it, keep that fitness up, and that's what I've done, and it's paid off.
Brilliant. Not like, honestly, and I'm not mean to sound patronizing or condescending, but not many people would have that mindset at a relatively young
Yeah,
age when it comes to fitness. And you
yeah,
just seem to get an idea in your head and you go guns blazing and you figure it out along the way. So fair play. Like, that's amazing.
thank
Like,
you.
I know if that was me, I would probably be like that person who said, "Oh, I can't run today, I'll not do
Hmm.
anything." And it takes me to kick myself up the backside to get myself out of that rut. And Davey, I don't know if you're the same with the bodybuilding when it comes to having one of those days where things just aren't going the way you want to go. Like, what do
Oh,
you do?
definitely. It's this last couple of weeks. I have been in a major rut, doubting myself and everything. So it's like William says, your mindset. You got to try and get out of that there and just say, listen, move on. Put it to the side. But everybody in any sport, I
Yeah,
suppose, gets their up and their downs. So they do.
yeah.
But see, when you're doing the race, how do you keep that mindset, that focus of, doing this here, right? I've done the swim, I've done the run, I've so many hours to go, without saying, you know what, screw this, or, why am I doing this? Or how do you stay so positive to do this?
Good question. Actually, like the Ironman, I know it went on for 10 hours 46 minutes, and it is a long, long time. But the day
Yeah,
actually went in very, very quick. Like the crowds, was unbelievable.
Wow.
It really keep you going the whole way around the course. I'll never forget it. There's a hill in Ironman Cork called Windmill Hill,
right.
and it's a really, really steep hill, and you get up everyone just wants to go there to cheer everyone on, and it's a
Mayday.
big massive road, and it's narrowed down with that many people on the road cheering you on. And I remember seeing a video of it last year, and actually the hairs in the back of my neck stood up, saying
Right. Was
this
that the
was the
video that
race
you
I'm
put
looking
up
to do.
of you doing it with all the crowd cheering?
Yeah, that's
That,
what I mean. Like, I was prepared for it, and I kept getting so excited, and I seen the crowd, and you can hear them cheering. I just took the hand off the bike, started waving, and the crowd went absolutely mental. And it was the best feeling in the world. So it was. And then,
adrenaline rush.
uh, yeah, that was after, was it 55 miles? So I had another lap to do. So we come
55
round
mile.
again. Another 55 mile, another lap to do. Have this to do
But yeah,
again.
speed you up a bit to get round again. Right, that's
Yeah.
good.
Was the
Thing
crowd
is,
still as full on when you came around the second time?
oh yeah, 100%. You see,
Brilliant.
Windmill Hill, it's actually at the end of a lap.
Hmm.
So it's your last hill. You have only maybe one more mile to go before you've to finish to the end anyway. So you came round, you're prepared for it again. This is the last time, and crowd hand up in the air, get them going. It was
Brilliant.
unbelievable.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
Like, I know
and then
I've been fortunate enough in my life to have done a number of marathons, and
yeah,
London was one of the biggest ones I've done in terms of
yeah,
crowds.
Mhm.
And I remember going across London Bridge, and I wasn't even in like 11 miles. I think it was less than 11 miles we're in. And I mean, I got the goosebumps going over the bridge.
Yeah.
I
Really?
visualized it. You see all the cameras and stuff pan out. That's what you see every year when you watch a thing. And for me to be crossing that bridge, all that feeling. Every time I see it now, I still get the feeling. So you'll be
Yeah.
getting much back on these videos come years.
Yeah.
Class.
London's a race I would love to do. Like I've heard people talking about it. I've actually tried putting in for it through the ballot, but haven't
Yeah.
managed to get in. But it's one of them races. It's on the bucket list. I want to do this.
Get
Actually,
into
you
it.
did all right.
Try using some charities. Go with the charity. Now, obviously, with charities, you
Yeah.
have to use a certain amount of money, but they will have allocated spaces. So find a charity that means something to you,
Brilliant.
and see if you can get on the list.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll stand at the side of it and cheer you on.
Oh, Davey, you be no ball.
I'll run beside you for like 2 seconds with McDonald's.
We're talking about just running. There's people out there that run with flipping costumes on, or do Rubik's
know.
cubes, or carry washing machines. Like, whew,
Nuts.
carrying my own body weight's hard enough.
Freaking fair play to yous.
So, William, we know that you're very into your sport, and you get up at silly o'clock in the morning. No offense, but it is silly o'clock.
Yeah.
What do you do for your downtime?
Be honest, not really a whole lot. Like I'm pretty busy from Monday to Friday. I'm up early in the mornings and then I train way to work, come home, train again. I mean, you come home, you're only sitting down for a wee while before you're going to bed again. That's from Monday to Friday. But like the weekends, after training or whatever, I'll maybe just chill out on YouTube, cup of tea or whatever, just chill out, go and see my nannies and grandas and stuff like that. So
Brilliant.
not really a whole lot in my downtime.
And what do your friends think of this? Do you have many friends out there that are supportive, or do they take the mick out of you because you're sitting in?
No, most of my friends, they know what I do and they see what I do, and in my clubs and stuff, the guys in the clubs, I think I'm a bit crazy, so they for what I do.
Probably jealous
Interesting
they can
fact.
have the
Interesting fact about
on
William.
a half forward.
Yeah,
Interesting fact about William. He doesn't eat no chippies or burgers or nothing. I think he's
No.
only
Do you
you've only
not?
had nope.
no,
I think
Ever,
you've
or
had
just
one of the
don't do it?
one chicken burger or something.
that was my 17th birthday. I'm 24 now. Actually, after the Iron Man, um, there was the athletes could go and get something to eat after they got their finishers T-shirt, and since it was free, there was actually a slice of pizza. They were giving out slices of pizza. Actually, I had a slice of pizza, one slice of pizza.
That's mad.
That tastes so good.
He's the
Yeah.
only person I know that I mean, like all year round would eat healthy. If we were sitting chatting, we're talking about sweet potato or something like that. There's
Oh,
class. Christmas
sweet
time, no
potato. I
sweet
love sweet
potato and
potato.
all.
What would be your treat then? Would it be a treat meal or a
Something
treat?
like a Christmas or something like that, or my birthday. Like I love like a slice of cheesecake. That would be more my go-to. Like something like that. Cheesecake, cup of tea. That's my go-to. That's something I would
Pavlova.
like. I wouldn't be a pavlova fan really. More of a cheesecake.
No, see, I like a pavlova after a show, a pavlova, and then that's me
Yeah.
happy.
Class. Brilliant.
I would take one of everything.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
No, there's no point left.
There's
Birthday
no
cakes,
point-
all
there's no point in giving me choices. Give me one of everything. I'll make
No.
myself sick, but I'll enjoy it.
that. Oh, brilliant.
So what's in store for you now? Like obviously you've got Iron Man, and you're talking about going across possibly over waters, or even possibly doing a marathon in London.
Yeah.
But what is your main goal that you're really, really focusing on for the next 6 months to 12 months?
Yeah. So now we're going in. Basically, the triathlon season's over. There's only a couple of races left. Shorter races, so a couple of sprints and Olympics, but I'll not be doing them. So now my main focus is on the next year. I'm trying to figure out now. There's race dates out for next year. For like the Ironman stuff between half and full. Like I said, I would love to go away next year and do a race. I have a few in mind. But it's just to really work hard and better myself on my swim. Because this year there has been big improvements on it, and I still am making improvements on it. And definitely there's more potential on my swim to get better. Biking, just trying to get better on the bike. My running is just trying to stay injury free, and be consistent with it because my running past year or so hasn't been consistent just because of injuries. So
Yeah.
it's just trying to better myself all around. So it is. And
Brilliant.
then whatever next year is, what I feel like I can do, just go out and perform at my best.
I'm sure you will. Is there anyone that you aspire to be like, or anyone who inspires you from the triathlon field? And I say that because we all have like people that we look up to in any sports or fields that we're playing. And I actually have actually read a book, I think it's called Surfacing, by a female triathlete, and she
Yeah.
talks about never being into triathlon before and then becoming one of the world champions. Like, who is your sort of like mentor or hero of triathlon?
There's a few triathletes I like, but there's one guy I like. He's a Canadian guy, Lionel Sanders. He'd be one of my favorites. So he would. It's just the way.
Why?
It's just the way. It's more of his personality. He has quite a bit of a funny personality, and just how the way he talks about himself before and after races, what he thinks, and I just like him. He's no way when you just like there's an athlete or whatever sport you're
Yeah.
interested in, and it's just their personality and the way they get on with things. You like them.
They don't take it
And that would
serious.
be-
It's down to earth.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like there's definitely better athletes than him. Like he's won plenty of races over the years, and
Mhm.
but now you can starting to see like there is the younger generation starting to come up through, starting to win races. The younger generation starting to come up. But he's just one of them guys that when you watch his videos, you can laugh at. So you can. I like him, but there's a few others as well, like a Joe Skipper, from Great Britain, and then Sam Long, American guy. And they're guys that I
Yeah.
like.
Do the
Do you think
Browns
it'll
still?
be any
Yeah,
people?
it is possible because like if I was to do a race in England or whatever, you've like Iron Man Wales as an example. That's one of them that I have on my list. Like Joe Skipper, he's a British guy, so he raced it last year, so he could race it maybe one of the years that I'm doing it. If I want to do it,
Brilliant.
no reason why not. Yeah,
I think I'd probably be a bit starstruck, and I'd just be like, not being able to get the words out, and I'd probably cry
yeah.
if I saw one of the heroes up close. I'd be like,
What about yourself, Elaine?
mm. Now, what you mentioned earlier on, pardon?
What about yourself? What motivates
What do you
you?
say? Me? Oh gosh, there's plenty of people within hockey. There's a few local people in hockey. I also look at people I've played hockey with at school, and they've went on to play for Ireland, or even they've transferred over to England. And
Yeah.
how do you still have that energy to do that? I love reading about people who have had a sporting background and how they've just, like yourself, William, got something in their head and they're
Yeah.
just going to do it, but they've had no background in that sport before, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
just that's what I want to do, and off we go. Like Davey, it's a million different people that you take inspiration from, but
That's it.
yeah, there could be. I couldn't give you the names off the top of my head right now because it's not something I thought of a question for myself to answer. But yeah, there's a few people I'm just like, they're amazing. They're
Your
amazing.
family, that's what gives you motivation and inspiration.
Yeah.
My family give me motivation to keep running away from them because they're driving me nuts. Only joking, kids. I love you, really. I really do. No, my family are like, obviously you want to inspire them. You want to make sure that they take something, because I know I played sport all through school.
Yeah.
I did my first marathon when I was 24, and that was relatively young. But there's people younger now that are doing it, and that I think is awesome. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome because a lot of people when I was younger didn't really do that. They played it in school, and that was about it. Very
No,
few went on any further.
no, as I said, it's great to see the younger generation coming up through.
What do you
Say
think,
back
Bob?
when we were at school and all, you never see it. Like I with no interest in sports in school or anything like that. No, and it was just then that was just me. I just wanted to get out and run about and mess about up the fields or whatever. Those
Yeah,
were most
I
people
don't
you'd see
know if
along.
it's social media and the fact that we have access to watching other sports people to get inspired
Yeah.
from, like YouTube. Because we're quite old, William. We didn't really have all the YouTube back in the day. So maybe it's that, I don't know, or maybe it's just the lifestyle and different circumstances and generation stuff. I don't know. But
I
it's
think
great. It's great
it's
to see young people
more
come out.
the generation now, especially the younger generation. They're more into their health and their fitness and their lifestyles. You know, they want to stay in shape. They don't want any. Again, there's more opportunity for them now. You know, back when I suppose when we were growing up, there was nothing. look at all the gyms up around the places, leisure centres and all, they've more opportunities. Football clubs, hockey clubs, Gaelic clubs, wide range of stuff now. Triathlons and
Yeah.
all, where we didn't have all that then. If they had all that, then I would say we probably would have been different.
Maybe, maybe. Well, you mentioned earlier on there about going to see your granny and granddad. You're very close to your grandparents.
Yeah, we'll be pretty close. I would go and see them every week, so would I.
When you talk about them and when they see you doing these races, are they like one of your biggest fans?
Yeah, that's one thing about my nannies and grandads. Like they always do take an interest. They always do ask about it. And William, I usually go and see them on Saturday or Sunday. Which Saturdays and Sundays is my long day, maybe out on the bike and different stuff. So, what are you doing today, William? Today I was out on my bike and I cycled Lap the Lock or whatever as an example, and they take an interest that way, so they do.
Right, you were saying about your grandparents that come support you, and you were talking about
Yeah.
going overseas.
Yeah, don't know whether they'll go as far as maybe overseas if I was go to race, but like now, like if I was doing an Ironman, you can track me so you can. So you can track me from the swim, the bike and the run all day, see
Brilliant.
whereabouts I am. So that's how like my mum, she was keeping an eye on me while I was racing, and how I was doing, whereabouts I was at the time. She could keep an eye on me.
Like an
And
app?
plenty of other people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's through the Ironman app.
You'll
So,
have to
like,
send me the next
you
time you do one. You'll have to send it so I can.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
It is
I think
pretty
it's
cool, yeah.
brilliant. They do it for the marathons as well. So say if you
Yeah.
can't make it to family members' marathons, whether it be on this island or any other island for that matter, you can track their runs. Also, it helps if you're going to watch them so you can see where they are to go figure out where your
Yeah.
viewpoint is going to be. So it's good that way.
That's cool.
Had them in Dublin.
Yeah. It's pretty good because like there's even a load of people on tracking me and tracking myself.
Yeah.
People that I didn't even expect. And then you were getting like I'd only crossed the finish line, and when mum gave me my phone, you had a text message straight away. People, congratulations already, just as quick
Unreal.
as that.
Brilliant.
People tracking me throughout the day because they'll get notifications. So maybe it was like that there. I was going away, my nanny and grandads could track me if I was to do a race somewhere else. But I would definitely like to go away next year and do a race somewhere.
I
100%.
reckon you will go away and you will absolutely smash it. Probably better than you think you'll ever do.
Yeah,
I
I'd love to.
guarantee you, I'd say, me knowing personally William and the time and effort he puts in and the competitive side of him, I would say you'll see him in the top rankings very soon.
Absolutely.
Without
Hope so.
doubt.
That'd be nice.
Well, I know what your legs are. Look at the motocross.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah.
So and then you've that attitude and mental thinking as well.
Yeah.
Your time and effort will all pay off.
Yeah.
That
Well, as you can
attitude
see it.
doesn't just come for someone who doesn't really believe in themselves or doesn't
Yeah.
really want to do it. There's a fighting spirit within you, and it's quite clear from the way
Yeah.
that you've talked about your training and how dedicated you are
Yeah.
every day. So that's brilliant. And
Thank
many
you.
of our listeners are going to be sitting here going, like, seriously, this fella gets up at 4:30 in the morning. Is he not wise in the head? But
He takes
equally, they're
after
going
his
to
uncle.
say, his uncle.
Yeah, he's a famous uncle, Rab McBride. One of the legends around Lurgan done bodybuilding. So that's where all his clean eating, his attitude, and his competitive side comes from.
Would you say that's true, William?
Possibly. But will do. I sort of take it from my own. Like I always have been very competitive, even with my motocross and stuff, and even when I had my bad injuries. I think that sometimes that's why I am the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I had a few bad injuries to do with my hips and stuff, and the physiotherapy I was given,
Just
like
about your accident, if you explain to everybody what actually happened to you
Yeah.
on the motorbike.
Yeah, so I was at a track. It was a practice day, and then we had a set of wood. I can't actually really remember it that well because I was actually knocked myself out. But there was a set of whoops, so it was just like a load of rollers. But once I was going over them, and apparently the back end of the bike just started from swinging side to side, and then must have went over the bars, whatever. I can't remember. I was knocked out, but the injury ended up being a fractured right hip, fractured the whole ball of my left hip. I think I was near enough basically smashed, and then a torn muscle in my groin. But
Jeez.
yeah, problem is like these injuries weren't found till like weeks later down the line. So there possibility. I was on my feet in a set of crutches. So possibility there could have been more damage done than could have been.
Need to
So
put
So
it in
it's
quick,
Tom,
caused.
Ian.
hold on.
Yeah.
You went on a trek, your back
Yeah.
tires were spinning out, you went over the handlebars, knocked yourself
Yeah.
out, and had fractures in your hips and your
Growing.
strain,
Growing.
and they weren't found till a few weeks later.
Yeah. Ended up going to hospital and said I must have a really high pain threshold because some of the injuries that I've had have been pretty big, but I haven't actually had any pain from them, which is
Right.
pretty weird. So I was sent out of crutches and sent out of the hospital in a pair of crutches, and yeah, it was. Mum knew I wasn't right because even the way my back, I have a curve in my spine as well.
Right.
So like my whole body was way out of shape, and then got back. They took an MRI scan because that's where you could see the actual injuries. And I was like a week or so down the line. They said like that guy needs to get out of school as soon as possible. So I had to get out of school. And I was out of school for quite a while, and that's where it all started really from there. And physiotherapy multiple times a week, but I was doing it every day because in my head, here's me, the more I do, the quicker I'm going to get back on a motorbike again. Like
And how
I was only
did you get
14.
back on again?
Yeah, 10 months later, I was back on the motorbike again.
Started winning races and
And
everything.
yeah, it took me a while to get back into it. And then had another crash where I dislocated my shoulder. And then people were like, that's him finished, that's him finished. I'm like, it's not me finished, it's not me finished. And I dislocated my shoulder, so I was out for a while in that. Then came back the next year to race, had a full season near enough behind me. And I don't know whether it was the last round of the Irish Championship or one of the last rounds. I had a crash where I had a pretty big crash where I broken, dislocated my foot. And I remember while I was tumbling on the ground, I remember my foot hitting the ground and me just feeling something like a pop. And I remember getting up and standing there with my hands on the hips. And I see my dad and someone other running over to me and the flags waving, and limped myself back over to the bike to finish the race. There was only like one lap left, less than half a lap. But I was finishing, and I remember what's going through my head. I couldn't do my gears. Managed to get into second gear possibly, and what's going through my head? How am I going to do this last race? There was no last race. It was near enough a week in Craigavon Hospital getting for an operation.
Golly.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd ever go back to that motocross?
Well, after that injury, I actually did come back for it was quite a few years, and maybe one day, not at the minute, because I know at the minute it's triathlon, and that is my passion. I absolutely love it, and you're meeting new people all the time, and from different clubs, different parts of the country, talking to people, and I just really like it.
Yeah.
Good atmosphere about it.
And see
It need to be like, because it's a hard competitive sport, and I think people in that sport appreciate the effort that everyone puts into the overall sport, not just one particular part of it, whether it be the swimming, the biking and stuff. They recognize that not everyone's brilliant at everything. There's certain things that you need to work on.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of like camaraderie in that one.
Yeah, like the people who do triathlons and the Ironmans and all, you have to give them a lot of respect because that is brutal.
Yeah.
And the training you put yourselves through is like, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
But you do it. You do it with bodybuilding, just different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
But that there's that's just like 45 minutes an hour maybe in the gym or whatever. No, but William's going out for a run 2 or 3 hours and then a cycle 2 or 3 hours swimming, and then next minute he's way doing like a race or run for 10 or 20 hours. And you're like, what the hell? That's nuts. He's sitting there going, oh yeah, that's nothing, that.
Yeah.
But I guess going out for a run is like, it can be quite therapeutic as well, as can being on a bike. Not that sitting on a saddle for a while isn't sore, but different elements of it you can just zone out. So
like if a bike ride, when you said 2 or 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours would actually be quite short when you're training for like an Ironman or whatever. Like going out one of my last bike rides going on the Ironman, since I knew the Ironman's a 2-lap course.
Yeah.
So like I knew a route that would sometimes do, and it was 54 mile. So out and back. So I done it twice. So it came to 108 mile. just to prepare for that. So there's near enough 6 hours. There's
6
times there
hours.
near enough on a bike for 6 hours.
I do 45 minutes on the bike and my ass is numb.
Oh,
Yeah, wearing fancy shorts.
I have a pair of them, so I have
Put
like
them
an
on
nappy
then.
on it. I might stick them on, but I sort of get off like my bum is pure numb.
yeah. Takes a while to get used to it.
Well, flip. I remember when I was young, I used to cycle for my grandad's club and all sorts of, but as I say, I suppose back then when you're young and you're doing that stuff, you don't really notice it. But now when I'm on the bike, I'm like, how the heck did I manage all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Even
remember
when you're
my
on the
granddad.
bike or even on the running,
What?
do you put music in your ears now in training or on competitions? Are you allowed to even do it in competitions?
Competitions, you're not allowed to do it. Training, I don't actually train with music. Like this morning, I actually did. I was on the bike for an hour, and I just changed it up. I was indoors, just put music on. But that there's very very rare. When I'm outdoors, people do. You can actually get earphones now. They're like bone conductor ones, so they're not exactly going into your ears, going on the side of your eardrums, so you can still
Yeah.
hear the traffic and all coming.
Is that
But
why
I
not
don't.
do it in competition for traffic?
Yeah, yeah. There probably is a safety element of it as well, but it's just not loud. But I don't really train music, whether I'm out running or cycling. No, a lot of my stuff is on my own. I actually don't mind training on my own, which a lot of people would struggle with it. They need the company, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Yeah,
So what
I
do you
like
think
training
about
on my
whenever
own.
you don't have anything to distract you noise wise? Are you listening to your breathing? Are you counting your steps? Are you counting the time? Are you watching the time? Like what do you do? Like how do you get through those 10 hours?
Um, but like if a race or whatever, you've definitely got the crowd going there to cheer you on. So like it's taking your mind off things. But I would say to myself, like I would be quite mentally strong that way because I am on my own quite a lot of the times. Like I'm in a cycling club, but most of the time I'm on the bike by myself, and time does actually go on pretty quickly. Like because like cycling, you're free, you can cycle anywhere. You know, there's some spots you go to is just really really nice on a bike, and everything looks different on a bike. When you go and drive somewhere, but when you go maybe the same place on a bike, it looks different.
Right.
Yeah, I can
It's
agree with
nice.
that.
Yeah, everything looks different.
Take things in a bit more.
Yeah, 100%.
I suppose you appreciate more when you're cycling. You know, you can see more around you and you have the
Yeah,
fresh air and everything.
that's it. Yeah,
Just things slow down. Well, William, like a lot of people who'll be watching this whenever it airs will be like going, holy crap, this guy's 24. He's absolutely kicking it. He's very dedicated. He's very disciplined. And he only has cheesecake at the odd time and not even any fast food. Like, what advice would you give to anybody who's thinking about either getting into triathlons or any sport for that matter? And how would you like, what advice would you give to them about getting their head in the right place?
um, don't rush into things too quickly. Um, enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Yes, sometimes things get a wee bit difficult. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of your comfort and get uncomfortable to be comfortable. Um, don't rush things. Like sometimes I say don't rush things. I am quite hard on myself, and you want to go faster and you want to go harder, you want to
Mm-hmm.
be better. But a lot of people, especially when people just start things, go, "I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this." These things take time. Like I see people, I look at people and go, "Like, how are you doing that?" And they say themselves, "Like, this took me so many years to get to here. Just stick at it, and you'll get there." So yeah, you just have to enjoy it, and it is scary. Like joining the club, if anyone's watching this, they would like go, I want to join a running club, I want to join a cycling club or triathlon club. It is pretty nerve wracking, so it is, but you just have to put your foot out the door and do it. And it is the best thing ever. See, once you go to a club and after a couple of weeks and you get to know people, the amount of confidence and you feel so much better in yourself, and the amount of friends you meet is unbelievable. So anyone that sees this and wants to join a club, yes, it might be hard to put your foot out the door. Just go for it. Or even anyone that knows me, just send me a message or whatever and ask, and I'll help out if I can.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, oh, I love that. I think that's great. Dave, over you.
Yeah, Elaine's going to sign up.
I'm gonna get my life in order first before I commit to anything else, because I don't want to be dealing with imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I'll stick to
William,
my wee bodybuilding.
we'll get some more cardio in your life there.
Aye. We'll let William just do all the Ironman and the triathlon stuff. I'm quite happy sitting watching him, and then someday I'll see him on TV saying, I know him.
I know. Hope so.
William, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. So thank
Thank you so much.
for
Thank
your
you.
time. And I'm blown away by just your demeanor and how you've come across, and wide shoulders and a young body. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
It's
Definitely,
definitely
yes.
given me food for thought tonight.
Yes, thank you very much, William.
Brilliant.
See you later.